welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into something practical. The costs you face when moving to Singapore, whether it's for study, work, whatever.
Yeah, the pre-arrival and post-arrival stuff.
Exactly. We want to help you avoid any, nasty financial surprises, make that transition smoother.
It's key.
So let's unpack it. How do you actually manage the money side of moving to a place like Singapore?
Well, careful planning is, honestly, it's your best bet. It helps you get informed quickly without getting totally swamped. It's about building a smart budget from the start.
Okay, smart budget. I like that. Let's start before you even get on the plane. Those pre-arrival costs, what hits first?
First up, visas. Student pass, work visa. Typically, you're looking at SGD 30 for the application processing, and then another SGD 60 when it's actually issued after approval. So about $90 total.
Right. Any tips there?
Yeah, big one. Apply early. Seriously. Avoids those rush fees, which can bump the cost up quite a bit.
Good tip. What else before arrival? Health stuff.
Definitely. There's usually a mandatory medical exam if you're staying longer. Basic checkup might be, say, SGD 50 to 100, and travel insurance, maybe SGD 40 to 100. But honestly, our pro tip is get combined travel and health insurance. Covers more bases.
Makes sense. Okay, now the really big ticket item often. Flights.
Ah, yes. Flights. Costs vary wildly, of course. From India, maybe SGD 250, 500.
Okay.
But from Europe or the US, easily SGD 800 to 1500.
Oof. How do you avoid getting stung there?
Best advice. Book way ahead, like 3 months in advance if you can. It really helps avoid paying a premium for last-minute seats.
Right, that panic tax you mentioned. Okay, students have another cost too, right? Tuition deposit.
Exactly. Many schools want a full semester upfront, maybe SGD 5,000 to 15,000, or at least a non-refundable deposit, perhaps $500 to $2,000.
Need to factor that in early.
Yep.
And accommodation, can you book that before arriving?
You often have to, yeah.
Yeah.
And landlords usually want a security deposit, often 1 or even 2 months' rent.
Wow, okay.
Plus maybe booking fees, SGD 100, 300, especially for hostels. Initial rent itself could be SGD 500 to 1,500 a month, depending on what you get.
Any other small pre-arrival bits?
Yeah, a few miscellaneous things, document translations, maybe SGD 3,100. A pre-activated SIM card can be handy, about SGD 15. Airport transfer, maybe SGD 30, 50. Little things, but they add up.
They really do. Okay, so that gets you to Singapore. What about when you land at Changi? What costs kick in immediately and then sort of day to day?
Right, immediate things. You'll want an Easy Link or Nets card straight away for transport. That's about SGD 10.
It's essential.
And a local mobile SIM plan, probably SGD 1030 to get started. Plus, first week's food and basics budget, maybe SGD 100, 150 for that initial settle-in period.
Okay, get you through the first few days. Then the recurring monthly costs start. Accommodation's the big one again.
Usually, yeah. A shared room might be SGD 500, 800. Your own studio. More like SGD 1,000, 2,000. Student hostels are often cheaper, maybe SGD 400, 700.
So quite a range. What's typical for international students?
The average rent seems to hover around SGD 850 a month.
Okay. And food, how does that break down?
Well, if you cook at home, maybe SGD 200, 300 a month. Hawker centers are great value. Meals for like SGD 4.7.
Love hawker centers.
Yeah. Western restaurants, though, much pricier. SGD 15.30 a meal easily. Transport, using the MRT and buses with a monthly pass, is around SGD 120.
Pretty reasonable. Internet, mobile data.
Home Wi-Fi, probably SGD 30.50 a month. Mobile data plans, maybe SGD 20.40. And don't forget some one-off settling costs, buying some basic home stuff, maybe SGD 100, 300. Registration fees for various things, another SGD 100, 200 perhaps.
Right, those little setup costs. So this is where it gets really useful.
Yeah.
How do you actually avoid the common money traps? How can you save effectively?
Okay, common pitfalls. A big one is just underestimating costs, especially housing deposits. John Lee, a consultant, actually said many first-timers do not pay for the cost of housing. This alone is a major cause of budgeting problems.
That deposit catches people out.
It really does. Also, booking flights at peak times. So tips. Book flights at least 2 months out. Consider shared housing. It can cut rent by maybe 40, 50%.
Huge saving.
Definitely. Use that Easy Link card for daily travel. It's efficient. And crucially, have about a month's worth of cash ready for when you arrive for all those initial expenses.
You mentioned a case study. Someone who ran into trouble.
Yeah, Raj from Mumbai. Planning his master's, he went over budget by more than SGD 1,800. Wow. Missed factoring in the rental deposit, booked a last-minute flight, and missed a required health screening, incurring extra costs.
Ouch. What was his advice?
His advice was simple. Plan to include an additional 30% within your budget. That buffer isn't just padding, it's for the unknowns, the friction costs.
That 30% buffer sounds wise. Any other warnings?
Yes. Artuli Desai, a study abroad mentor, flagged something for 2025. She warned that global inflation could really affect airfare and insurance costs. So, keep an eye on those pre-arrival costs potentially fluctuating. Plan for it now, she says.
Good heads up. Okay, wrapping this up then. What's the core message for someone planning their Singapore move right now?
Really, it's about understanding these costs pre- and post-arrival up front. That knowledge is your shortcut. It smooths out the process, reduces stress, and helps you avoid those costly surprises. You get informed, you apply it.
Makes total sense. So here's something to think about as you plan. Singapore saw about 5.3% living cost inflation between 2024 and 2025. How might thinking about future cost changes, even beyond these immediate expenses we discussed, shape your initial budget strategy? Definitely something to mull over.